Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. This is second try to this. I'm just swapped around the internet source on my computer, and I'm super excited. Happy Monday, and start of summer was yesterday. However, here in Melbourne, we're freezing like penguins. It's only like 12, 13 degrees at the moment, and summer seems to be nowhere in sight, although I think it's going to warm up towards the end of the week. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Good morning, Glynis. Great to see you on the call. And guys, today we're going to wrap up this series of 3 lives over 3 Mondays that we needed to spread it over in terms of discussing the various stages that your business goes through and the actions that you should be taking at each of those stages. And we've covered off in the first 2 parts the infancy or the startup stage of the business and what you should be focusing on in there. Then the end of that first part and all of last week was all about the adolescent stage and the stage where you're growing. And today we're going to cover off stage 3 and 4, being the adulthood phase or the scalability phase, where your business is between $200,000 and $2 million, and then the contribution of or the wisdom stage, which is beyond $2 million. So we're going to go through each of the actions you should be doing in all of those last 2 stages. But before I do that, let me just do my little share across in the groups that this goes out to as well, and that way everyone gets access to it. And yeah, and I hope you guys have planned a beautiful festive season. I don't know about you guys, but we have been started off all party event season, and we've gone already to 2 parties, and I think I've got another 3 or 4 this week in the lead up of going to the US for a white Christmas, which for us it's happening next Tuesday. We're flying out and spending 3 weeks up until New Year's Eve in I'm putting in the wrong groups. I'm talking and trying to do stuff all at the same time. But yeah, this week we're just getting ready, wrapping things up over here, and then off we go to here we go, start a watch party. I'm going to try to do that. All right, start. All right, let's have a look at how this works. I've never done a watch party before. Okay, well, there you go. Oh, it's gonna go on from my other computer as well. So let's see how all of that works. All right, so we're going to talk about the scalability and the adulthood phase and what you should be doing, and then also the contribution and the wisdom phase. Do comment if my internet seems patchy or I seem not to be coming through clear, but I think some of this stuff is actually, I'm going to shut some of this stuff down. Everything is slowing down. I don't know what is going on at the moment. So I'm just going to focus on this one computer right in front of me. All right, so scalability and adulthood phase. So we talked about, I'm going to summarize, startup phase and infancy phase was between 0 and $25,000. Then your growth phase was between $25,000 to $200,000 in revenue in your business. And now we're going to talk about the $200,000 to $2 million scalability or adulthood stage of your business, and the things that you should be doing in that particular stage. Now, as I said in the previous 2 weeks, if you do want to have my notes, which I've got here 2 pages worth of dot points and bullet points, I'm happy to send them across. Just private message me and I'll cut and paste the document into you, so you can then go through everything I've spoken about, especially if you're just joining us for the 3rd week in a row, and kind of we're jumping straight into the high level strategies that you should be doing in your business if you're at that stage. So you've made 200,000, now you're wanting to get your business to the 7-figure level. What are the kind of things and actions should you be doing? Well, the very first thing is to continue refining and learning the value of and how to do high energy, high value sales, and actually to start if you haven't been already, you should have been, but to get comfortable with increasing your prices and talking about the value equation over the time for money equation. So a lot of the time people get stuck in this mindset of, you know, oh, this is how much I'm worth per hour. You know, in your package you get blah, 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 which is, you know, X amount. And they're talking about time for money, time for money, time for money. At this stage, we're talking about packaging yourself up in a way of selling value, in terms of what would that mean for the person if you were to solve their problem and how quickly you can do it, rather than, you know, what you're charging per minute or per hour. So you're moving away from a time for money to more of a packaged way of working with people. I actually, in my business, even from the very beginning, we were told, you know, in your coaching packages, when you present to people, you know, put unlimited coaching in the one-on-one section, like if you have a table of value. And a lot of people were, and even I tell new, coaches right now to do the same thing, because I actually took on that advice and I did it. And people often said, aren't you scared that, you know, people are just going to use and abuse your time and they're going to call you every 5 minutes of the day because they have got unlimited coaching? But really, it's not how it happens. You know, if you pre-frame how the relationship generally should evolve, let's say, look, we're going to catch up once a week, only for an hour or so. And you know, the first few months, and then after that we might do once a fortnight. If you pre-frame how the relationship is going to unfold, generally people stick to those rules, but you always leave the door open so that if they need you as an emergency or outside of that scheduled time that you have, then certainly that you would help them and assist them. And I have never, in the years that I offered unlimited coaching in my packages, experienced anyone using and abusing and not sort of working around the structure that I had set in place. The same thing works now, even nowadays in our business. You know, in our package and program, we don't necessarily have hourly times for mentoring and coaching our clients. It can happen quite randomly as needed. However, we have got a scheduled 2-hour session before their retreat attendance, which is compulsory because you need to get them ready properly. But then after that, we say, look, whatever you need to use, and whatever questions you need and whatever time we need to spend with you, whether it's overcoming some mindset blocks, whether it's talking structure, whether it's talking strategy later on about leveraging a book, just pick up the phone and schedule a time and we'll work through it. And at the end of the day, we see the same thing. Some of our clients need us more and they need more hand holding and nurturing and support, and other people literally sometimes don't even need us at all outside of the official part of what the program is. So don't be scared to sell what you do packaged up in a way that it's high value, because value is not a calculation. Value is a feeling, okay? Do people feel that they're getting you know, 10 times more than what they've invested in from what you, you know, for what your package in your program is. Okay, so let's move on. So yeah, work on your shadows and switch from transactional aspect of your behavior to high value being within your business. So that's kind of the official dot point on my sheet here. Joint venture partnerships. So this point of your business, you should have some negotiation power or way to barter, you know, who you have, your list, your database, you know, who you refer people to, who's got your ideal clients, so that there can be that cross-promotional aspect, because that's where someone else has done the hard work of nurturing, building up rapport with their community, and vice versa. You have done the same thing. So when you come together and you introduce to each other to each other's communities, that those communities obviously know, like, and trust you, and you know that you're putting them in someone's hands, safe hands, and vice versa. Yeah, you know, other people are doing the same thing for you, which means you have just saved yourself gazillions of hours of needing to get to know people having to get to know you. You're kind of being endorsed by other people. So joint venture partnerships is where you're truly scaling, because you're using the power of numbers and the power of relationship building through other people who are people of influence in a similar niche, obviously not in competition with yours, but complementary to your clients. So it's really, really important to always be putting the feelers out there of who's got your ideal client and how can you build those relationships with those people. So it really comes powerful here. And at this stage is where, you start doing more sophisticated product launches, series of videos and numbers of landing pages, pre-warming up, pre-launch. Like, there's a whole series of more sophisticated ways that you get people to the destination of working with you. Learning to rise price points, which we covered off. Add-on and upsells to existing products. So what else do you have in your business that is, that would benefit your clients to move to the next level? I'm seeing myself very glitchy here at this, and hope I'm not coming through that way, but it looks like I'm a robot and I'm just moving very, very slowly from one side to the other. All right, online programs. This is where you're starting to, if you really want to scale your business, you need to start replacing yourself out of the equation of having to always be there to deliver the product, program, service. And this is at this stage where you're potentially starting to hire other people to do some of the things that you get taken away from doing the most important things in the business. So, so online programs are a way of producing passive income by delivering your same system to people who perhaps, either can't afford to work with you at the highest level, or they want to just dip their toe in the water. So it's kind of that in-between step to them deciding, yeah, actually, I want to do this properly and do their full program, which often happens within our business when we travel around. People, who are not quite ready to take the whole leap, or they haven't figured out how to do it, they'll start off at the online program, and more than half of those we see then progress to do our full retreat program and high-end way. So there has to be some kind of a way to be able to offer people those next steps, and this way you're capturing people at different stages of their journey and how much of you they want and not want. Of course, online programs can come in earlier stages of your business, but until you've really refined and understand what your system is, and you have got a very systematic way of delivering the solution to your clients, generally this is why the online program bit is actually spoken about more at the scalability stage. All right, so next one in the scalability or adulthood phase of your business is leading by results and testimonials. So make sure even from the very beginning of your you starting your business that you're collecting your testimonials, that you're talking about your results, what are people getting as a result of working with you, and that you're constantly asking. Even to this point, Stuart often asks me at the end of our retreat, we collect testimonials on the experience. When people have got their books in hand, we're doing now author series interviews to talk about, well, what's happening right now? What was your experience like? What would you say to people that, are thinking about, for us, it's writing their first book, and what does it mean, and all that kind of stuff. So the more of those things that you collect, he says, don't we have enough of this stuff? But I said, you can never have enough, because your credibility then stacks from one thing to the other, and then you also get to cherry pick which ones are the most powerful, because not every single person is going to have give you the most glowing, well-structured testimonials. But if you collect as many as you possibly can, you'll pick out the ones where people say the things that you would like to heard said about your program. Good morning, Moana. Great to have you on the call. Collect testimonials and lead by example by showing those testimonials and those results. So it's so much easier. You can stand up in a room in front of people and you say, here's the people that I have helped. This is what the results are. The testimonials, media, all of that kind of stuff. That what are the things that have happened in their lives or businesses as a result of them working with you. Before and afters, all that kind of stuff work really well. So start collecting them. Ask every single person, because you never know where you're gonna get that really awesome one. And you can actually coach or ask for certain things, like, could you, this is how you would go about saying the testimonial, and you're never saying anything to people to say something that's not true. You just want them, sometimes people don't know how to give a testimonial, and you want to coach them through it to say this is how to start, middle, finish, and all that kind of stuff, and then say all the things that you want to say. Okay, next one, guys, greater investment in credibility and marketing. So this is where you really have to start taking risks and testing a lot of different marketing ways of generating leads and new clients into your business, because that's going to be obviously the bloodline of the business, which makes it sustainable and scalable. Yeah. So scalability, cannot happen if it's just you on the ground continuing just to network and speak at events, all that kind of stuff that you're doing in the earlier two stages. You're really kind of spending a lot of time relationship building. This is where you're probably going to move towards Facebook advertising and ways of paid marketing that you want to hire experts to do for you, because that's where you can then, because you already know what you stand for, how you communicate it, how you solve it for people. You have that confidence. You've built it up. You've got the results. You've got the testimonials. This is now all of the stuff that you're going to plug into, whether it's your websites, your landing pages, how you nurture and communicate to brand new people who've never heard from you from a bar of soap. So this is the thing in the first two stages, and this is what I saw and experienced in my own business, is a lot of the time when I found clients or leads or prospects, they were all within my circle. I kind of knew of them. It wasn't kind of something completely out of the blue, someone who's never heard of me. Usually we've had multiple touch points. But at the scalability phase, you're turning up and you are doing your stuff in front of people who have never heard from you from a bar of soap. So nowadays, as we travel around Australia, next year we're going to be doing another US tour. When I walk into those rooms, 99.9% of people have not heard from me. They say,